Hey everybody, it's Chris doing some pig drawings today, and then I thought we would do a little bit of gameplay at the end just for fun.
Yay! This is Tyler, watching Chris do some pig drawings, and here to answer questions.
And this is Keir, watching Tyler, watching Chris draw.
Pig people.
Pig people. So yeah, just finished up the old Swinator. He's pretty gross. And now I'm
gross to me.
Yeah, now I'm moving on to this drumming guy.
It's kind of cool. He's got the actual little piggy, the corkscrew piggy tail too.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of a little funny, without being too funny.
Do pigs actually have little? I've never even really noticed, or is it like just kind of like a visual way to? And are the tails docked? Like, is this actually what a pig's tail looks like?
I don't know, to be honest. I just went with fairy tales for reference on this. From what I was led to believe throughout my childhood, they do have the squiggly tails, so
yeah,
here we are.
Okay.
Again.
I think this music is too loud.
Okay.
You're on your own, Chris. It's not part of the Skype call.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I got it. It's under control. Alright. So yeah, this is another faction. The skeletons kind of live in the ruins, and the swine mutant people kind of live in the warrens or the sewers. So I'm kind of imagining them as like degenerate result of inbreeding and poor mating choices with summoned or half summoned demons. So they're all kind of half anthropomorphic and mutated and messed up and kind of gross. But I like the gladiatorial feel of this guy, so I was sort of thinking of carrying that, I don't know, orcish war spirit through the whole faction.
Maybe he should do some stress damage when he plays the drum.
Yeah.
Bum, 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 bum. You're like, oh, he's playing the drum, and that drum looks an awful lot like our past companion's face.
Or he just plays dubstep, and you instantly go insane.
So are those like armor suspenders, or are they part of the drum?
They are armor suspenders, yeah. He's got a big date later. I was just thinking that I could take the same kind of like bits of armor from over here and tack them onto his suspenders, and then later when I do the variants I can play with some bigger shapes to break them up more, armor them up some more. Because we have 3 variants now of each enemy. Hang on, Tyler, you can maybe talk about that. I gotta organize something here really quick.
Tyler?
Sorry, I was typing a tweet to let people know we're live, and I had muted the mic because my keyboard is still loud.
And did you post the link?
I'm about to, but then I needed to come back and let you guys know that
It's a very complicated tweet.
Yeah.
We got a question. Chris wanted you to explain how the monster variants are going to work.
Yeah. Well, part of it's progression, just that, like if you see a Swinatar in an early lower level, or I should say like a lower difficulty level of a dungeon, then he's going to be tougher in the higher difficulty, just because that's part of what we're doing with progression. So variants usually, they're keeping the same basic abilities of that class. Like a skeleton spearman, it's going to have more or less the same types of abilities at the lower variant as the higher variant, but he'll just be tougher. And then we might do some visual changes for some of those variants too. It just depends.
Those will definitely come in at early access. Like, there won't be too much cosmetic difference, I think, when we launch early access, just so that we have the proper scope of monsters. But I'm definitely excited to layer that stuff in later.
Yeah, that's cool.
How's the typing going?
It's going great, but
yeah, working
I'm
through
gonna have trouble typing quietly and talking at the same time.
Yeah, it sounds like it's working on our end. So
Okay, I've got the link this time.
On his
Good.
back is like a standard kind of. I think I mentioned in a previous stream, like all the different factions have a variation sort of on the stress symbol, which is sort of like part of your family crest. So because these guys live underground, I thought it would be cool if like the spikes are only inside the thing, inside the ring, and it's upside down. So it's not really a grabby stick like those little claws you could get when you were a kid.
those were fun.
Those were awesome, yeah. He'd
Kind
probably be a lot happier if he had one. I'd have to draw a big smile on his face, but 'cause he
I
doesn't
feel like
have
it's a
one.
ballsy gift as a parent, just because
You're asking for trouble. Something's
Yeah.
getting knocked down. There's no way around it.
Yeah, I never had one as a kid. My friends had them, so when I went over there, it was Grab City. We got a couple questions.
Cool.
Is the fan forum working out for you guys? Getting anything useful from them?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. There was a whole big thing about your family coat of arms. I think Think Tank posted about that, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, we're glad to see it, and I think it'll continue gaining some momentum. And
I was on holidays, that's why I couldn't post.
darkerdungeon.com is the location. Yeah, I've read a lot more than I've posted, and I definitely plan on making return visits there. Some cool ideas. I like seeing the ideas people are posting. I like seeing. It was fun to see what people were saying about, like, oh, what's the party you put together? And obviously, you guys are kind of guessing based on what you know about the classes so far, and it's just kind of cool to see, what people are liking and what they're interested in.
So Tyler, you had an idea for our first backer poll.
I did. Yeah, we'll be rolling that out somewhat soon. So for early access right now, we're targeting probably 10 classes. Right now we've got 8 that we've been, already implemented, in various states, and then we'll probably add 2 more before we do early access. So we're thinking about doing a backer poll on, of the other announced classes, which 2 do people want to see? So, yeah.
So let's get some previews here. What do you guys think who are in chat?
Yeah, and if you need to sort of remember which ones are there, the Kickstarter page has that graphic, which is we even use it sometimes just to quickly remember.
I know. It's a super useful graphic to have online.
Yeah. I mean, we have documents and all these sorts of things, but the Kickstarter page is pretty useful.
Yeah, with Kickstarter polls, do we get results on the amount of votes and who they voted for?
What?
Like, do we get detailed results of?
As details want, like what I'm thinking about using is something like SurveyMonkey or whatever, and just we'll send out a link to everybody, and then we can kind of put. I mean, it can be a really simple poll, or we can put whatever detail we want, and we'll see like numbers and like, oh, so and so is the clear winner, and or it's a, it's a photo finish type thing or whatever.
So now that we got the drummer on screen, we got a question / suggestion from Dohan.
Cool.
As long as the drummer is alive, confer a negative bonus, he asks. Or she.
Like a debuff to your party?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I'm sure he'll have all sorts of abilities like that. The crone in the woods is another sort of status effect kind of debuffer type enemy. They're fun to have, kind of like the little skeletal courtier.
Do we know how many spaces the Swanitar is going to take up?
He's a 2-slot. He's a mini boss.
Tour.
Yeah, we don't really have 3-slot guys. It's just awkward. I mean, what one guy are you going to put with them? It's not as interesting a fight. So basically, bosses can be 3 or 4 because they have special mechanics. But generally, the enemies are either 1, 2, or the boss is 4.
Yep.
Whoa.
Wow, that's a lot of
that's
Polish.
Whoa.
I don't know what language it is. Russian?
Russians.
That's Russian.
Russians in the chat. Be nice. Hey, Tyler.
Yes.
Are PayPal backers also included in the polls?
I'm not sure. We're going to talk about that. It's way easier to send the Kickstarter backers. Also, the Kickstarter backers, we promised the poll, the backer polls, and that's technically not on the PayPal purchases. But I don't know, Chris and I have to talk. It's not like we want to exclude people, but you had to pay, of a certain tier to get the backer polls in Kickstarter, and so yeah, we'll see. Obviously, we love getting people's input, and we value all the contributions. It's just, we'll see what we can do. I think
We could do something on the newsletter.
If I find an easy way to mail all the humble widget backers of a certain tier or higher, then there's no reason we really wouldn't.
Google Translate did not help. There's some craziness in there. So, do you want to play along? You can type that in yourself and read the new fan fiction we have. How long do you guys think on average it takes to get a concept from character art to fully in game?
Well, why don't you back off, for starters?
Okay,
And,
Dohan, back off.
We're going as fast as we can. It depends on the character. Like it takes about 1 or 2 days for me to draw all the poses, and then I think it takes Brooks about half a day to a day to cut them all up and rig them, and then maybe another half a day to a day to animate. So what is that? 3-4 days?
On the art side, and then there's the UI, but how long does that take?
Oh god, I forgot
the
about the
zoom
UI.
in, the icons, the banners.
All the icons and all that stuff. I don't know, because I just fit that stuff in where I can. Like every now and then I'll just spend an hour and do as many icons as I can, but I kind of don't keep track. For me it's kind of like, well, they have to get done, so I don't know. It's probably not very good management. I'm sure I could prove to myself that I have more icons than it's possible for me to draw, but what would be the point of that? I'd just be upset for a while and then have to draw them anyway, so...
Also, like with barks, I don't think we know exactly how many barks we need per character.
Yeah, we're just kind of figuring that stuff out.
And also, if we add something that we want every hero to have, we kind of go back and look that up.
Yeah. That's cool.
Got a Rio Bucks question.
Cool.
Does the village have a name?
No. It's just called the Hamlet. I think we've talked about it before, but we don't really use a lot of proper nouns in the game. Then the sort of story and fiction is deliberately meant to be quite loose and open to your own interpretation, and it's kind of one of the principles, I guess, we have for generally how we treat things in the game.
Yeah, we're dealing in archetypes a lot, and I suppose you're allowed to name the estate, but it's really named after you. So I mean, we're trying to create a little personal attachment there, make you feel like it's your little world, but we just don't lose you in the history of really anything other than how this came to be. How it came to be that now it's on you to basically cleanse out all the horrible things that have corrupted and infected the land.
And that would also, I guess, apply to the Pigmen's village. Because they came from a village, we probably haven't named that.
Well, they're in the
Warrens.
They're in the Warrens, like setting up, shop. Who knows how long they've been down there, and that is their home. And
Well, you don't like go into their village and meet their chief and like
Yeah.
go and get 10 bristleberries for his cauldron and then kill 3 wolves or whatever.
I was like, the Warrens is just one big city. Like, it has no neighborhoods. It's just like...
Yeah, it's just a big sewer aqueduct system.
Yeah, you never know, like, oh, I'm in a series of tunnels, and who knows how they're connected to the other tunnels, and, you know, everything's really endless from the perspective of the game. Everything's kind of endless, and you need to... The only real way to address it is shut the darkest dungeon.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like Gauntlet where you knock out the monster generators in each place or anything. You know, you're just like, basically, you're gonna be dealing with these guys until you can get right to the source.
They've kept vigil and worked long and hard hours to try and bring about the end of the world, and they're gonna keep coming back until you actually eliminate the chance for them to do it.
Rad.
So, Luke Prowler has a question. So all those Lukes, watch out. Somebody's on the prowl. After you kill the pig creature, can you eat it?
Ew.
Gross.
I still think they should drop rations.
They should drop special rations, like just actual delicious sizzled bacon. With eggs. Like, you kill them and they gib into bacon and eggs. It's the tastiest foe you'll face.
I know this would be a box of work, but it would be cool if some of the heroes were vegetarian and didn't want to eat it.
Seems legit.
Speaking of legit, Mr. Legit, Tyler Sigman, what are the plans for PAX, or is it all super secret? And that's spelt really weird. Dohan wants to know.
Is it spelt in Russian?
No, it's supers is with a Z, and then secret is SEKRIT.
Awesome. That's kind of like Calvin and Hobbes style or whatever. Yeah, I mean, we're hoping to go to PAX, and I think there's a very good chance, and we'll be able to hopefully confirm that after a little while. And yeah, I mean, we're gonna do. You know, it's kind of weird. Like PAX East and PAX Prime are really not that far away from each other in terms of time. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, so much has happened since PAX East, and then we still have a little ways to go. But you know, I think from also a demoing perspective, you know, we'll probably want to be showing kind of a lot of the same stuff we showed at PAX East in terms of just like giving people a chance to get in there and fight and, you know, experience it for yourselves. And, you know, we're kind of assuming that it's not going to be the same exact audience. I know there are people who go coast to coast and kind of attend everything, but I think most people like are going to pick between PAX East and PAX Prime. So we kind of want to show the same kind of stuff, but obviously with a few new things, just to, you know, show you we've been busy. A lot of the stuff we're building, you know, may not show on that just because like Town, we're going to give you a little glimpse, but there's really not time in a convention to sit everyone down and, you know, play the game in its entirety. Sort of, I don't mean beginning to end. What I mean is just like doing stuff in Town, going to the dungeon, coming back to Town is the big part of our game, right? And it's just, we need to give each person at least, you know, an hour to kind of experience that, and that's really not practical when you're, you know, in a swarm of people. So yeah, so we'll be showing, you know, we'll be letting you get hands-on. There will definitely be some new features, but I think for a lot of people it'll still be their first hands-on. So
well, plus we're also debuting, like, what we're not debuting in new features, we're debuting in like new content. So like we're going to show off the wield level. We're going to show, like, we're going to let you actually do a boss. We just had a mini boss at PAX East, so we'll have a full boss encounter this time out, and we're going to let you pick your party, I think is the plan right now. So we've got, you know, the 8 heroes now, not just the 4 that we had at PAX East. So we're hoping to be able to sit people down and let them choose, you know, which 4 of the 8 they want to bring with them, and then launch into the demo dungeon. And the one thing I want to do is I want to have a top 5 for best and worst, and keep track of it over the course of the event.
How are you going to do worse?
I don't know, like if you wipe before you get to the boss, that's pretty bad. That should go up on the board.
I think you got to beat the boss with as little stuff left. Like you get through with one guy and no inventory.
Oh, okay, so you only judge on completion. So to get on the board, you have to have beaten the boss, and then relative to how you did on the boss, that's where we put you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that makes sense. It won't be a rigorous grading scheme, since it will probably most likely be done on the fly.
Well, it'll be a public ranking.
Yeah,
there'll
people
be a leaderboard on the booth that we may or may not have.
But yeah, I think that'd be a lot of fun. The best rounds at PAX East were when everyone was kind of watching and invested and seeing this horrible stuff happen.
We had somebody get in the chat who's never heard of the game before.
Oh, great!
And I just love that they're seeing this pig guy.
Yeah.
They're just like, what is this game? The last skyline says, okay, I have a question. Why is your art so friggin' awesome?
Well, I certainly appreciate that question. I feel like I got a lot to learn. And I'm always sort of feeling like I have to let go of things a little too quickly because there's so much content to make, but I'm just trying to do my best to put my head down and get through it all, but I'm really happy that people seem to like the style for the game. It's a lot of fun to do. I really, really enjoy working this way.
And a follow-up question, in what part of your career do you think you made the biggest leaps skill-wise?
Times like this where I have an exorbitant amount of work to do, and you like creative people I find can sometimes self-critique to the point of paralysis, and so when you have a lot of work to do and you don't have the luxury of sort of going over everything with a fine-tooth comb and making sure you're quote-unquote satisfied with it, you put your ego aside and you just pound through a bunch of work. I find those are the moments that I've improved the most because I'm forgetting about my own like stresses and insecurities artistically, and I'm just doing the work like kind of with an empty mind as opposed to a cluttered one, I guess. Not to sound like Zatoichi, but
okay, now we're done with the art question. We got a combat question. Will there be combats that break out of the 4-slot system, or is the system concrete for everything?
It's pretty concrete in terms of structure. I mean, we're doing a lot of things, moving people around. Some guys take up multiple slots, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I mean, that's the combat arena. There's some things that might surprise you, like summons and, things like that. So there is a way to kind of keep those slots dynamic and stuff like that. Like, you start a combat and you see one thing, and then all of a sudden you summon 3 buddies. But yeah, I mean, we're really trying to make the most of that, for a reason. And I think restrictions breed creativity too, in terms of just coming up with cool mechanics. And I mean, that's really what the rest of exploration is for too, is the combat is only part of the challenges that you'll face. I mean, just managing the torch, managing your food, choosing what to do in camping to keep your, party going, choosing what curios to interact with, that's all part of the adventure experience too. So navigating on the map, so there's lots of other hazards, of course, but yeah, combat's combat.
We got an art suggestion, Chris, from Think Tank.
okay, cool. I almost saved over my old file that I was using.
What if one of the drumsticks was a severed leg?
Was it
cool.
what? A severed leg, do you say? Oh.
Yeah. I think an arm would probably satisfy Think Tank's desires.
Well, here's the thing. That's a good idea. Given that I try to keep the color palette really limited for readability, I'm worried about having more flesh. Right now, the high key value of the bones, like the bleached bones, pops them off so you can understand, like, from a distance, kind of what's going on. But if they were fleshy, even like a different skin tone than the pig, I think it would just get like too brown all over the place, and I'm already having that problem with the stretched face over his drum versus his skin tone. So I'm a little leery to introduce more bare flesh into the character, if that makes sense. Not because I don't like the idea.
Cool.
Hey, Keir, what's frustrated you most during the development so far?
That's an interesting question.
Don't say me.
No. Well, no, it wouldn't be a person. It'd be I'm gonna have to come back to that. That's a deep one.
I'm not ready to answer it because we're not done yet.
Oh.
Like, the worst thing could be right around the corner.
I can give you my top 10 if that helps.
Tyler has a shit list that he keeps updated every day.
It's really a spreadsheet. There's like multiple columns.
Yeah.
Some days we're on the shit list.
I'm like the dwarves in Warhammer Fantasy, man. I have the Book of Grudges.
It's really, really healthy.
It's kind of funny because I'm actually I would say I'm a fairly cheery person, but then again, those of you that share the office with me, I don't know. I might have a complete...
Actually, I thought of something that's a bit frustrating. With the we're doing localization through a Google Doc, and I like that it's a Google Doc, but I can't have it download only that Google Doc to a very specific folder. Because I want to just be able to export and have it blast right into data/localization. That would be really nice.
Yeah, I'm with you with that, and I think it's really adorable that that's your biggest frustration.
That's your biggest frustration is Google Docs. That's fucking fantastic.
No, it's
I love it. Yeah.
It's more Chrome. Like, I'm limited in the ability to download a very specific file to a very specific folder.
Super
maybe I gotta
frustrating.
write some sort of file to save myself 30 seconds every other day.
I hear you, bro.
Chris and I are thinking through stuff like...
I'm like, yeah, I know. The heavy stuff.
Before we had, funding, and then maybe when, this happened, that happened, like these big, massive things, then Keir's like, it kind of irritates me that I can't export.
What's the deal with Google Docs? That's
that
great.
Google Doc comment killed we went from 41 watchers to 20.
Well, now it's time to hit him with a deep question. How long has the corruption been over the estate before the player character arrives?
Enough time.
Enough.
Enough time that the advent of something really awful is upon us. Again, it's not about specific chronology. Like, we're dealing with these, like, iconic horror events, and so, like, if you're at all a fan of horror or thriller movies, you know that they sort of have these, like, landmark moments that happen to sort of move the plot along, and you could argue it's formulaic, but it's also sort of part of what is appealing to me about the genre. So it doesn't matter how many years, it doesn't matter specifically what name it is. What matters is that you inherited a haunted house and things are really bad and they're about to get worse. And then on top of that, you can build your own narrative. That's the whole idea, is that you sort of insert your own sensibilities and bring your own kind of treasured aspects of the genre into the game and apply them liberally.
Yeah, it's funny. Sometimes it sounds like when I hear ourselves answering some of those questions when we talk in archetypes, like, it's weird. Sometimes it sounds like a dodge, but it's really not. It's really our direction. Like, if it was a different game and a different, et cetera, we'd be, there might be really strict, like, basically character names and histories and whatever. This game was never really built to be that. I mean, so much of it is also what you build with in terms of your characters and what they go through, and that makes it different from, I know we've used Baldur's Gate before, but it's like you take someone like Minsk or something. He's like so well characterized, but that's just not what we're after at all, because then it's like you're not playing your guys, you're playing Minsk. And even our inspiration of, like, obviously Lovecraft stories and other things are so much built on, like, they have specific plots to get things across, but their themes are beyond those specific plots.
Yeah, exactly.
And so we kind of want you to create your specific plot through what you're doing in the game. And, this goes in hand with it being a somewhat procedural game, too.
As Rio Bucks is bringing up in the chat, it makes for great fan fiction.
Yeah, but I think that, yes, it does. That's absolutely astute.
And
we have some amazing fan fiction, and I think it's incredible, and I'm hoping that when the game comes out, people can make it their game, especially YouTube streamers and that kind of thing. I'm really hoping that, it'll be fun to watch these people play the game and inject their own kind of priorities and sensibilities into it.
I got a question for the game mechanic. Will the death door mechanic be limited? It was already discussed in the forums that it would make sense to only have a limited number of times you can enter the state.
Oh, yeah, I haven't seen that discussion yet. I don't think it's going to be limited, but, certainly we'll see how it plays. I mean, I think it's there for a really specific mechanical reason, and I don't think it's going to... Well, let's put it this way. I don't think it's going to stop people from dying. It's just going to hopefully give you a fair shake at dealing with it. But yeah, that could be pretty wild. Like, you've been at death's door so many times, you've used up your 9 lives, and that's it. But I think we'll start with it unlimited and definitely see how it goes. Like, if
people are just shaking it off left, right, and center, it's obviously not working.
Yeah, I would think more like the idea of changing the... I mean, one thing we could do is, like, there's a % chance that once you're at death's door that further damage kills you. So one thing we could do, which would be kind of a second order system, would be there's a lower %, like the first time you're at death's door, there's a lower % chance, and then the second time a little bit higher, and third time a little higher, especially maybe within the same mission.
Yeah, so you creep up.
Yeah, so it's... it's always been a little silly, like if you're an RPG and you're like, oh, I'm at 1 hit point, and I'm fully healed again, then I'm at 1, fully healed and 1. You just think of like that roller coaster that guy just went through, like the body would not be able to take it.
He's like Christian Bale doing his movie prep.
Yeah, so that's a cool idea. I mean, really the goal is we want you to feel in danger, and as long as, we can capture that, then it might not need a second level of... But if we sort of lose that feeling, then... Sometimes, I mean, in practice, just in planning it, it's crazy. I mean, sometimes, like, especially if you have a dot on you or something, it's like, okay, I have a little bleed, like these rabid dogs, they'll do like a little minor bleeding, only like 1 point around or something. But it's kind of cool. It's like if someone knocks you to death's door and then it gets to your turn and the first thing you do is apply your dots. So it's like it comes to your turn and you can bleed out like right there. So, there's a lot of dying that goes on.
Shadowman asks, has there been any discussion on how many characters you can have in your roster at one time? Not in the party, but your overall roster.
Yeah, I think we've tossed around anywhere from 16 to 20. We want you to be able to have multiples of some, but not all,
Who knows? Maybe it's something you can upgrade in the stagecoach.
Who knows? Sounds like a good idea. Alright, it's 4:36. Should we switch and do a run here?
Sure.
Okay. First 4 people to type their names in, we'll name characters after
I
you.
got the first 4 people who said hi in the chat.
Oh, okay. Let's do that then. Sure. Hang on here. Let me bring up this thing.
I'm gonna Skype it over, and then that way it's a surprise. Keep you.
Okay, so what classes should we do? Let's decide that first, because I can move them around in this thing. Right, it's the first 4 lines.
Yeah. You just and make sure to put them in order of whatever you want.
Yeah. So which classes do we want to do before we worry about names? Do you want to do the new ones again?
Let's do half new, half old.
Okay. Definitely the bounty hunter. That's happening.
Bounty hunter Hellion, like Dr. Vestal. Let's get it weird.
All right.
Sure.
We don't have the leopard done yet.
No, sadly we don't. All right, plague doctor name. What do we got?
I Skyped it over, so it'll be a surprise.
Oh. Okay. That's a surprise for
Except
me.
for it's not a surprise because he's editing the
Well, there's
thing.
anticipation for the people that.
Oh my god, it's an R! Oh wait, hang on. I'm not even typing in the right window.
No.
It's really cool of me.
Chat's blowing up.
What's
People are listing classes that don't even exist.
Oh, what do you mean? Oh,
The Lord ran. I don't know what that is.
we got to figure out the trick to getting like thousands of watchers.
You get famous for doing something, like Fred Durst did. He made a lot of songs with a band called Limp Bizkit. Then he's like, "Hey, I'm going to stream some Call of Duty." Front page of Kotaku. So
Yeah.
Oh, no way. Hey, Jesse is the bounty hunter.
shout out to Jesse.
Alright, let's try this. Okay. There. Did this tell me if the screen jumped in the Twitch or when it?
Oh, you're capturing the capture window.
All right.
Okay. Well, so far we're filming your OBS.
We got a couple questions on what the drum is named before and after it became a drum. You can consult fan fiction for that. You can direct all your drum-based fan fiction to us on Twitter.
All right, there we go. Looks like we're good, right?
Who controls the title of the channel?
I don't know. I think I can get a login.
I think the Twitch people come in and they're like, "I just renamed your channel to something sweet."
All right, so here we go. I think we're up. I got my crew here. I'm gonna frig with the order a bit. You need to go back here. Old Joust needs to come forward.
Dun, dun, dun.
Feels good. My highwayman's not gonna be doing too much melee, but be pistol time. And I'm gonna kill the music.
So what you're sharing on Skype is a website.
Oh yeah, we won't be able to keep up with you real time because we're watching the delay.
No, watch Skype.
Yeah,
I know, but Skype right now is like YouTube and.
Oh, okay. Well, 1 second. There we go.
So during this intermission, what's everybody been working on recently?
Oh yeah, hero skills, new hero skills. Like
All right.
we've been rounding out rest of skills for the 8 heroes that we've implemented, and I'm doing some behind the scenes stuff to get those hooked up. Also, a bunch of like screen design and gosh, just tons of design work. Like right now, just in a real heavy design push to try to round out a lot of stuff that like we have half figured out but not fully figured out, and then we're working with a writer, and then all kinds of stuff, camping skills, quirks. It's kind of like I'm bouncing around a ton, which is pretty fun.
I haven't found a single monster in this quest. I'm just hungry.
It's monsterless.
Yeah.
What dungeon are you in? The Weald?
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Alright. Fungal bloats and rabid dogs and old ladies with a chip on their shoulder.
Alright.
And again, no effects, and again, the background art is not finished. And again, some things aren't animated.
And their accuracies and damage at the start are not those.
Oh, unlock everything gave me the OP skills.
You know me.
Oh, it is pretty laggy, yeah. Weird.
Oh, this is gonna be a cakewalk then. We're gonna rickroll this.
Oh. Lag City. Yeah, that's fine.
As far as what I've been working on, I'm going to read one of my task titles. Pass all torchlight changes through a function that can handle high-low clamping and torch FX. That was something I did.
Was that a awesome moment when you did that?
Yeah,
Oh my
like
God.
when I don't like when I don't have to check in a new build and it's just code. It'll be used later.
Still lagging?
Yeah, it's pretty laggy.
Oh, that's weird.
Um,
I'm crazy overpowered. I have all my skills upgraded to level 5. I'm like one-shotting everything.
Wait, you're at level 5?
Yeah, because I did everything unlocked to ensure I had the right skills. Maybe I should start again here.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be too easy.
Everything unlocked. I didn't even know we could do that. Because you do the 7 to make sure that you have your...
I'll just see what I get.
I don't know why they're level... What controls level 5, Keir?
Well, they're all unlocked, right? So I'm basically saying you've unlocked everything in the game, including every skill upgrade for every person.
No, what command are you talking about that does the unlock?
It's like unlock everything. It's in the doc.
We gotta block that later.
Huh, that's weird.
Oh, yeah, we gotta block all the command arguments.
It's still really laggy, I guess.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong.
Okay. Well, I killed Photoshop. I thought maybe that was a problem. All right, here we go. I actually only have a few skills now, or random ones, so I don't know how this is gonna work out.
Oops.
Some events that aren't hooked up. Tyler typing.
Oh shoot! Yeah, the events. I re-enabled a bunch of stuff that is in various levels of.
Tyler's like, Chris thought it would all be finished up. I'll show him.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Up against a giant.
Guys. Oh.
Temporary attack doesn't exist. Good job. Tons of stress all
That's
around.
something I did. Localized text that's not in there. It's teal instead of throwing an error.
Oh, nice.
Pumped about that.
All right, here we go. So take aim.
Also,
Effect
high
deadly
weapons
buff.
accuracy. I know, Chris, you like him a lot, but I think
His
think
damage is ridiculous. What's going on?
going in and editing his skills was a little below the belt.
Uppercut, which needs to be renamed because he doesn't actually uppercut. Marked for death. All right. Do I even have hook and slice?
What's the hi Tyler for? Hi, Diablique.
I gotta retreat this guy. I don't like this.
Is that like a friend of yours?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a reference to something I've done in previous Tyler fights, or if it's actually just a legit hi Tyler.
They're born in 77, so.
Oh my god.
It's my era.
Little confusion spores. I'm gonna dot this guy up a little bit. Yeah, we're starting to get new sounds in the game too from power up.
No, we gotta fix that.
Tyler, could you answer a yes or no question?
Yes. Next question.
Are there any friendly NPCs outside of the main town?
Oh, like in the dungeons? Maybe.
The door's still open.
Okay, what I was gonna say is not right now, but then I was gonna say, but very possibly later, and that's how I ended up at maybe, not as a full-on.
Like, I don't know. See how it goes.
It's a Facebook friend. I feel like I'm dropped the ball here.
Confusion spores kind of screwed me. Take aim. I've never even used this skill. What the hell is take aim? Effect deadly buff.
So take aim will once it works. Offensive buff for the next turn. So it's
sweet.
Actually, it might be working right now. It's hard to say.
I'm just gonna hammer on this guy. Yeah. Someone would expect a giant to be bigger. I think that's fair. But I will say, if you saw this guy and you came up to his nipples, you would say, "Wow, that guy's a giant."
I mean, he's like Andre the Giant size.
Yeah.
Not only that, but he doesn't wash.
Yeah, he's unclean. We said it right on the screen.
Yeah. He should have like an unclean hug where he hugs you and you're just like
mildly irritated. You're like, "Come on, man."
It's like, the stench, the stench.
Alright, some gold. Got an heirloom. We'll be able to use that in town to upgrade some buildings.
Yeah.
We're going to try and find the boss. So yeah, you're going to see a lot of effects and things, or skills that don't have effects and all that stuff. Disclaimer,
what
disclaimer,
boss
disclaimer.
did you specify to fight?
I didn't.
Oh, let's see how that goes.
Well, also...
torn rotator cuff.
Because of the way
Awesome.
we're starting, I mean, he only has one firewood, and so... Really, we got to get back to where we can launch the quest from town on the... Oh, yes, that helps a lot.
Yeah, it's kind of your own doing, Chris. You're like... Gotta work by these command arguments.
Yeah.
Because you could select the skills in town, right?
What am I doing with this party order? This is a mess. Does this stun people? Does flashbang work? Thank God. Okay.
So Sarah.
Alright, duelist advanced. We got this. Okay, moving forward in one slot. We just gotta
So I
get this.
just caught up to the part where you open a chest and got a torn rotator cuff.
Just watch the Skype, man.
No, I know. I'm watching both, man. I'm watching the chat.
You're the reason the stream's lagging.
Alright, I gotta retreat. My plague doctor, because she's useless there.
It makes me feel like I'm straddling time, the time-space continuum. I'm seeing both what's happening now and what's happening in the past.
Alright, let's grab this guy, pull him forward.
It's
Or
like
not at all. Breakthrough is amazing.
We got a question specifically for you, Chris.
Okay.
Have you got all the monster ideas you need right now? Is there anything particular art-wise we could dig up and put in the forums that you'd find useful?
I think anything that people think is cool would be great to put up in the forums. I'm definitely going to check it out, and even if we don't do it or have plans to do exactly that, it might inspire something else, or we might decide to add it, or I don't know. More ideas is always better. The bounty hunter here, everyone's starting to get pretty stressed.
You need to pause over the skills just a brief moment so people can see what you're picking.
Sure. Okay, so I knocked him back there because I didn't want him to hit me with his tree anymore.
Oh yeah, especially with the lag.
Take aim. God, this guy. He's just going to be pew-pewing. Alright, there we go. Incision.
Yeah, we're sorry it's so laggy, everyone. We'll try to get that sorted for next time.
Is it really bad?
It's been pretty bad.
I got nothing else running.
I don't know for everybody.
It's not great on Skype.
Weird.
Nice. Oh, the crone's in front now? Oh, wait, sorry. I'm watching the wrong screen.
I killed her ages ago.
No.
Nice. Send this guy back to the back.
Bucks was asking at the end of fights, can you alter the order of people? Yes, you can.
Yeah, you can change the order around in rooms.
Not while you're walking in a hallway, though.
Certainly not. No. 2 guys poisoned. This thing is so gross.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty cool. Like with hallways, I know probably some of you have heard it before, but you'll go down hallways and eventually we're going to have benefits for whoever's in front. So there's going to be a little strategy in terms of your party order, but then you're kind of committed to that order, you know, until you get through the hall to the next room or get into a fight, and then of course you can use the combat skills to reorder yourself. But I think that'll be kind of fun because depending on what the situation is, you'll put different characters in front, but then you have to sort of live with that for a few steps. And our justification is that, you know, you're going really with the justification of the whole single file combat is that you're going through these really narrow enclosed spaces, and you know, you can shoulder past each other, but not when a lot of other stuff is going on.
I just got ambushed by some brigands.
It's like you're fighting your way through the Twitter account.
Stun this guy up. Nice.
I like that bounty hunter animation, like when he does the mark or the
like the throw.
Yeah, it looks good.
Cool. I keep forgetting to change my order around. Being crazy.
Is anyone in the chat gonna go to PAX Prime?
I am. I'm in the chat. I'm going regardless.
Cool.
That's
fantastic.
I'm gonna die. I don't think this is gonna go very well. Not this fight, but let's see if I can't work these guys down.
Here's a question / suggestion. As your power over a state increases, you attract more adventurers up to 30-ish.
I guess that's referring to the total size of the roster?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll go that high. We're just gonna experiment and see what feels good. We want enough that you have like a lot of options, but we don't want enough that you can have like multiples of every class, you know?
Yeah, I think it's a notable idea that based on the amount of upgrades you do for the buildings as a whole, we could up your roster max.
What's auto attack? A?
A.
Yeah, that's why.
Hey.
You gotta.
Oh, that was.
It goes really fast though.
I'm getting worked, man. Battlefield medicine.
You can always call in.
What's the deal with battlefield medicine? That battlefield medicine doesn't want to help my guy.
Well, I worked on that today, as a matter of fact.
Well, clearly.
So it'll all be sorted out very soon.
That's real nice.
Yeah, it doesn't help you. Yeah, and by worked on it today, I mean in the version that's not checked in for you to play.
Alright, I'm in a lot of trouble here. This guy's gonna bleed out.
Well, let's see some people go crazy too. It's like
Yeah, alright, I'll pump some stress up here. Whoops. Think tank, what are you doing? Oh.
Oh no. just what everyone wants, a fearful hellion.
Those are debug commands that won't be in the final game.
Dohan, I have no bandages for you, man. I'm afraid we've reached the end for you.
Camp?
You have one camp, but
Oh yeah, which I didn't do. Oh, he's still alive. Okay, we're good. We're just gonna get to the next room.
who knows what camping skills you have though, because
That was actually
People are
handy.
yelling at you to change your order.
No, my order's great. And I'll show you why. Point blank shot. What's up now? Oh, come on.
Oh, you pulled a Tyler, the old dodge.
The old Sigman dodge, the Sigman shuffle.
the Sigman shuffle.
I'll Iron Swan this guy. Oh shit! 26. Yeah.
Nice.
So will there be ambient music for each area, and what's the progress on it?
Stuart's starting on it now, actually. Well, yeah, each dungeon has its own theme. Combat has like different variations and intensity levels and all sorts of stuff. Plus, we are going to have narration as well.
Yeah,
Do
we're
we
pretty
announce-
chill.
Do we
What?
announce what we're using for audio?
Stuart Chetwood
Uh,
and Power Up Audio.
the third part of that puzzle?
I don't think the software is. No.
Okay. I mean, if you...
I mean,
We'll
from
just
a
keep
stamp-
that as a secret, Tyler Sigman's secret, what audio API we're using. Check the boot sequence when the game comes out to figure that out.
It'll be a. Yeah. Oh yeah, Stuart is pretty cool. He's been his band.
He is pretty cool.
Yeah.
The Tea Party, they just recorded a new album and they've been doing video shoots and
Look at
releasing some
Slade.
songs, and that's all happening like within the last couple weeks.
Nice.
But yeah,
Can you buy the Tea Party's album on iTunes?
I don't know if the whole album's out yet or just a couple of songs have been released. I gotta check.
Can you buy it on darkestnexus.com? Do we have a widget?
No,
Not for their album, no.
but yeah, Stuart is starting the composition work, which is awesome. He's just so multi-talented. It's like playing the bass in the band, but then doing composition for the game, and we're super
Nice.
stoked.
Okay, I gotta camp. Keep people alive here. How much time do we have? 4 minutes.
4 minutes.
Alright, do a quick camp.
Everything
is awesome, we're out of food. Hey! Death's door all around! Everything is cool when you're part of a team. Let's...
and for
I
those
can't
who
concentrate! Oh, you useless turd.
can't pose is not final.
Yes. Let me tend those wounds. What a nice guy you are. Encourage.
It looks kind of cool that two of them are seated. And
It
the
kind of
other two are
does.
Like,
Yeah.
I refuse to sit down for this mockery of it.
Oh, huge heal! Huge heal! Alright. Let's encourage Reverox. And we'll rest. We cringe and shake at every noise. We're out of firewood.
Do we have any plans for, I might say this wrong, treant enemies? I think that's tree people. If so, can you use them as firewood?
That's awesome.
Faithless. Okay, so this is cool. My Plague Doctor just got or Reverex just got the Faithless quirk, so when I get back to town, I cannot put her in the, I can't pray or flagellate. It won't work. She doesn't believe in whatever divinity. All right, south or west, guys?
You should hit F1 and then make a judgment after that.
Where's the boss? Oh my god, it's so far away. Alright. Let's just do this real quick. Whoops. Going real well now.
I don't think there's a guarantee there's a boss at the end of this. Oh,
We're gonna find out.
depending on your command argument game.
Oh, some maggots.
For all you watching, this is the fun of seeing stuff in the middle of development, I guess. It still makes us nervous, but yeah, it's definitely something we enjoy doing at the same time. But yeah, you get these weird things like...
Stuff doesn't work.
Yeah.
Okay, there's a spider. I'm just ripping through this. I'm trying to get to the boss. You will not be able to do this in the game.
God is on his party side. I love it.
Booyah.
Did you use the magic F3 but or I mean kill all?
Yep. Oh, why did I investigate that? Okay. Alright, we're on the home stretch. Running out of torch. Can't camp. Oh, death's door. Nice. The Drawbarian steals himself. Everyone, this is a gong show. This is what happens when you can't provision properly. Alright. One more room. If I can survive the hallway.
Well, I mean, with the magic kill all button, it seems to work pretty
Death
well.
blow, does it? That's it.
No breaks. I love it, Think Tank. It's good.
Alright. One more room. We have 1 minute left.
Dun, 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 dun. Bam.
Empty room. Okay, here we go. Hellions at Death's Door. This is gonna... Oh. Finally, the Drawbarian caves. No. Okay, everyone's starving. I don't even know why I'm going to the last room. This is just... He's gonna fart and we're all gonna die. But he's animated. Alright, let's,
Oh yeah,
hit him.
Brooks animated him like immediately after the last stream. Brooks was like, "I never want to show that again like that." He animated him that night.
Oh, Dohan's lashing out. Think Tank is passing. Real nice. Unholy Judgment. Well, that'll do. Summons a skeleton. We all know where this is headed.
Oh.
Alright, 501.
Oh yeah, we better.
Yeah, we better vacate the premises. Alright, well, hopefully you enjoyed the massacre in the forest. Dohan wins the survival race. Congrats, Dohan. Thanks again for watching, and yeah, we'll catch you next week. We'll maybe do something different again next week.
Cool.
Yeah, thanks everyone, and go visit darkerdungeon.com to
yeah,
our discussions.
throw whatever ideas you have on the
Somebody just
on the
came in
forums.
asking, what is this game?
Okay.
Darkerdungeon.com.
darkestdungeon.com. Alright, take care, guys.
Bye.
That's it.